everyone, I'm Leslie, as you probably know, but I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about something I touched on in one of my previous videos about habits, which is sleep. Now, people underestimate the importance of sleep. They think that 4 hours a night is good enough, and that's fine. The body's just going to carry on as normal. What people fail to realise is lack of or broken sleep can actually really affect your hormones. So a good night's sleep, when people say you need like a good 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night, it's what they're referring to is the amount of time you're giving your body to hit the big red button that says reset on it. And this is when all of your hormones get back to normal, they get back to the normal levels, they reset, they recharge. They make new hormones, they dispose of the old hormones. It's all of those things that are basically taking you back to a good functional state for the morning. So if you're diddling yourself out of, however many hours sleep, or you're having broken sleep and you're waking up sort of sporadically and periodically through the night, this is going to have a huge impact on your natural reset. Now, these resets, they're going to actually, if you are having broken sleep, one of the things it's going to do is it's going to improve. It's going to increase the level of cortisol you've got in your body, which is the stress hormone. So, going back to the habits video that I did, sleep and stress go hand in hand, and stress is a big precursor to fat storage. So, we're going to talk a little bit about broken sleep tonight, because there's usually an underlying reason why people have broken sleep patterns. So let's just consider the two main reasons people suffer with sleep issues, which is normally anxiety or depression. Okay, these are the two biggest sleep hindering factors that there are. Obviously, you've got things like sleep apnea and coughs and things like that obviously have effects as well. But we're going to look at anxiety and depression today. So, what I want you to try and think of here, or what I want you to try and open your mind to, is this comes back to your mindset. So, if you picture, let's just draw it on the board. So you've got a big cross like so, arrows on each way. So it's a bit like a compass. Okay, so this point here is now. All right. This is the past, and of course this is the future. So this line just represents now. So what we can do, or what we know, is that depression is basically, not to dull it down because it is a big issue, but depression is, life isn't how you expected it to. Your expectations of life were too high. Maybe you dreamed of marrying a millionaire or being a millionaire or driving a sports car, and life just hasn't handed you that stuff. It hasn't worked out the way you wanted. So you've become down, you've become depressed, and the more down you get, the stronger the depression gets, and so on and so forth. So we're talking about depression here, not clinical bipolar or things like that. We are talking just feeling a bit shit. All right. So in the middle of this line, we've got your heart. Okay. So you can't really see that on there, so we'll just scribble it in a bit. So we've got your heart. And like I say, so now, past, future. The depression comes from your past. So it's those expectations you've set yourself for the future that haven't happened. So you've become more and more miffed. So here, like I say, you've got depression. Now the future, events that are happening in the future, is where you get your anxiety from. So you're not anxious about things that have happened, you're anxious about things that are going to happen. So maybe you're a bit fearful of getting on an aeroplane and you're anxious about flying on holiday. Maybe you don't like the idea of going to the gym, so you're a little bit anxious about going to the gym. You're having your first driving lesson, you're nervous, you get a bit anxious. It's things that are ahead of you, things that are in the future. So here we have anxiety. Okay, it's the unknown. It's the what's going to happen, not being necessarily in control. Okay, so you've got the past, depression, now, and the future. Nothing exists in this moment. Okay, so nothing is now. The only thing that is now is now. You're watching this video, that is now. You're not neither depressed nor anxious about it. You are here. Okay, so what can we do to relieve these issues in order to improve our sleep pattern? Now, for depression, for feeling a bit low, we can do an exercise every evening before we go to bed. Just get yourself a notebook, journal or something, or write it on your mobile phone or your tablet or whatever you've got. But you want to write down all of the things that you're grateful for. All of the things that have happened in that day that you're grateful for. So you're going to do a gratuity exercise, okay? So this could be things really simple, really, really simple things like grateful for the roof over my head. It could be something like the food in the fridge. You could be grateful for a friend who helped you today. The love you receive from a partner. You know, all of these things. It could be really, really mundane things. You could be grateful for having your nails done, grateful for having a day off work, grateful for seeing this video. All of the things that you've been grateful for that day. And you write them down. As little or as big as they are. You're grateful for your children. You're grateful for your children's health. You're grateful for your health. You're grateful for the car that's parked on the driveway. Whatever it is, you're grateful that you didn't trip over the curb when you walked in with your shopping. Whatever it is, you write it down. Okay? Now, as you do this over a period of time, you can flick back through, and what you start to see is how rich your life is. All these great things that you've got in your life. So even though you are potentially feeling a little bit depressed and down, when you start to see how rich your life is, it starts to improve that feeling. So you start to eke back into the now. You start to eke back into today. So you're letting go of your expectations. Maybe you aren't a millionaire because you decided to settle down and have children. Maybe you don't drive a sports car because you have 2 children and you can't drive a Ferrari with 2 kids in the back. You know, all of these things, all of these big expectations you had as kids. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an international show jumper that competed at the Olympics. I came this close. Really did. And then I stuffed my knee. I did my knee in. And I can't, I couldn't do it. So, my expectations when I was a child, everyone wants to be a millionaire. Everyone wants to be a ballerina or a horse rider or a racing car driver or a fire engine, firefighter, whatever it is. Your expectations were bigger than life was going to let you have. So you feel depression. Start to recognize all of the things that you have, all of the good things that you have in your life, and start to realize how rich you are, okay? Because you're richer than a lot of people, and you're probably richer than a lot of millionaires because they won't have some of these things, okay? I work with millionaires. I know. They're just as bad. So, getting rid of your depression. Depression is from the past. Stop looking behind you and start looking forwards. Now, for those of you that are looking forwards and you're experiencing anxiety, now, anxiety is obviously it's quite a cruel thing. It manifests its way in a number of ways. But what you can do, again, every day, is in your journal, in your notebook, is start to do contemplation. So we're going to do we're going to do a list of things that we you're contemplating. Now, this could be, if you've got a driving lesson, you're contemplating your driving lesson, you're contemplating the things that could happen in your driving lesson, so list them down. If you've got a problem at work, someone's bugging you at work, or you've got a project that you're struggling with, you're a little bit anxious about it, contemplate it, write it down. So say, okay, project at work, or driving lesson, maybe a flight on holiday, Okay, so you've got all of these things that are in the future that you're worried about, but the problem is, obviously, it's breaking your sleep. So you can't fix any of these issues during your sleep. You can't, you're not going to fix it whilst you're trying to sleep. So if you write it down, you take it out of the brain and put it onto paper, you can stop thinking about it for a little while, long enough to let yourself drift off to sleep and not be worrying about it. Now, quite often what happens when you do contemplation exercises is your brain actually mulls it over whilst you're sleeping, but it doesn't wake you up. And then when you wake up in the morning, you might be brushing your teeth, you might be eating your breakfast, drinking your coffee, driving to work, whatever it is, but suddenly a solution to the problem at work, the project that you're dealing with, suddenly comes to you. The problem that you're having with your driving lessons, you keep kangarooing the car down the street because you've not got very good clutch control, it suddenly starts to click with you. You suddenly start to deal with these issues that are causing anxiety. And you suddenly start to, all of a sudden, benefit in your sleep. You've had a good night's sleep, your body's reset, your hormones have reset, you're recharged, your brain's recharged, and it starts to solve the problems, okay? So for your depression, you do gratuity. For your anxiety, you do contemplation. So you're rich in your gratuity and you're solving issues in your contemplation. Okay, I hope that's helpful. I hope that's given you some ideas of activities you could do to help try and improve your sleep. And if you've got any questions or anything you want to talk to me about, then by all means get in touch. I'm more than happy to see if there's anything I can do to help you. But obviously, in the meantime, take care. Thanks for watching. I've been Leslie, you've been awesome, and I'll see you in another video soon. Take care. Bye.